friends, we're going to be on our next two chapters of Wonder by R.J. Palacio. The next two chapters are called The Cheese Touch and Costumes. Let's begin. I noticed not too long ago that even though people were getting used to me, no one would actually touch me. I didn't realize this at first because it's not like kids go around touching each other that much in middle school anyway. But last Thursday in dance class, which is like my least favorite class, Mrs. Antanabe, the teacher, tried to make Eczema Chin my new dance partner. Now, I've never actually seen someone have a panic attack before, but I have heard about it, and I'm pretty sure Zima had a panic attack at that second. She got really nervous, turned pale, and literally broke into a sweat within a minute. And then she came up with some lame excuse about really having to go to the bathroom. Anyway, Mrs. Antanabe let her off the hook because she ended up not making anyone dance together. Then yesterday in my science elective, we were doing this cool mystery powder investigation where we had to classify a substance as an acid or base. Everyone had to heat their mystery powders on a heating plate and make observations. So we were all huddled around these powders with our notebooks. Now there were 8 kids in the elective. 7 of them were squished together on one side of the plate, while one of them, me, had loads of room on the other side. So of course I noticed this, but I was hoping Ms. Rubin wouldn't notice this because I didn't want her to say anything. But of course she did notice, and of course she said something. Guys, there's plenty of room on that side, Tristan, Nino. Go over there, she said. So Tristan and Nino scooted over to my side. Tristan and Nino have always been okay nice to me. I want to go on the record saying that. Not super nice, like they go out of their way to hang with me, but okay nice, like they say hello to me and talk to me like normal. And they didn't even make a face when Ms. Rubens told them to come on my side, which a lot of kids do when they think I'm not looking. Anyway, everything was fine until Tristan's mystery powder started melting. He moved his foil off the plate just as my powder began to melt too, which is why I went to move mine off the plate, and then my hand accidentally bumped his hand for a fraction of a second. Tristan jerked his hand away so fast he dropped his foil on the floor while also knocking everyone's foil off the heating plate. "Tristan!" yelled Ms. Rubin, but Tristan didn't even care about the spilled powder on the floor or that he ruined the experiment. What he was most concerned about was getting to the lab sink to wash his hands as fast as possible. That's when I knew for sure that there was this thing about touching me at Beecher Prep. I think it's like Cheese Touch in Diary of a Wimpy Kid. The kids in a story were afraid that they'd catch cooties if they touched the old moldy cheese on the basketball court. At Beecher Prep, I'm the old moldy cheese. Next chapter, costumes. For me, Halloween is the best holiday in the world. It even beats Christmas. I get to dress up in a costume. I get to wear a mask. I get to go around like every other kid with a mask, and nobody thinks I look weird. Nobody takes a second look. Nobody notices me. Nobody knows me. I wish every day could be Halloween. I wish we could all wear a mask all the time. Then we could walk around and get to know each other before we get to see what we look like under the masks. When I was little, I used to wear an astronaut helmet everywhere I went. To the playground, to the supermarket, to pick Via up from school. Even in the middle of the summer, though it was so hot my face would sweat. I think I wore it for a couple of years, but I had to stop wearing it when I had my eye surgery. I was about 7, I think. And when we couldn't find the helmet after that, Mom looked for it everywhere for it. She figured it had probably ended up in Grand's attic, and she kept meaning to look for it, but then I had gotten used to not wearing it. I have pictures of me in all my Halloween costumes. My first Halloween, I was a pumpkin. My second, I was Tigger. My third, I was Peter Pan. My dad dressed up as Captain Hook. My fourth, I was Captain Hook. My dad dressed as Peter Pan. My 5th, I was an astronaut. My 6th, I was Obi-Wan Kenobi. My 7th, I was a clone trooper. My 8th, I was Darth Vader. My 9th, I was Bleeding Scream, the one that has fake blood oozing over the skull mask. This year, I'm going to be Boba Fett. Not Boba Fett, the kid in Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, but Boba Fett, the man in Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Mom searched everywhere for the costume, but couldn't find one in my size, so we bought a Jango Fett costume since Jango was Baba's dad and wore the same armor. Then painted the armor green. She did some other stuff to make it look worn, too. Anyway, it looks totally real. Mom's good at costumes. In homeroom, we all talked about what we were going to be for Halloween. Charlotte was going to be Hermione from Harry Potter. Jack was going to go in as a Wolfman. I heard Julian was going as Jango Fett, which was a weird coincidence. I don't think he liked hearing that I was going as Boba Fett. On the morning of Halloween, Via had this big crying meltdown about something. Via's always been so calm and cool, but this year she's had a couple of these kinds of fits. Dad was late for work and was like, Via, let's go. Usually Dad is super patient about things, but not when it comes to his being late for work, and was yelling, and his yelling was stressed out. Via was even more, and she started crying louder. So Mom told Dad to take me to school and she'll deal with Via. Then Mom kissed me goodbye quickly before I even put on my costume and disappeared into Via's room. Augie, let's go now, said Dad. I have a meeting I can't be late for. I haven't put my costume on yet. So put it on already. 5 minutes. I'll meet you outside. I rushed to my room and started putting on the Boba Fett costume, but all of a sudden I didn't feel like wearing it. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because all these belts that needed to be tightened and I needed someone's help to put it on. Or maybe it was because it smelled a little like paint. All I knew that was it was a lot of work to put the costume on, and Dad was Dad was waiting and would get super impatient if I made him late. So at the last minute, I threw on the Bleeding Scream costume from last year. It was such an easy costume, just a long black robe and a big white mask. I yelled goodbye from the door on my way out, but Mom didn't even hear me. I thought you were going as Jango Fett, said Dad when I got outside. Boba Fett. Whatever, said Dad. This is a better costume anyway. Yeah, it's cool, I answered.